Right now, hidden inside the walls around you, a system is working 24 hours a day. It pulls in clean water under pressure, splits it into hot and cold, feeds every faucet, shower and toilet in your home, and then silently carries away everything you flush and drain. Most people live with this system for years and never understand it, until the day it fails. A burst pipe at 2 a.m. A flooded floor. A smell they can't track down. So today we're going to fix that. By the end of this video you'll understand your home's plumbing better than most people who've owned a house for 20 years. And I'll show you 3 things almost nobody knows, including one small part, no bigger than your hand, that quietly protects your health every single day. If it ever dries out, poisonous sewer gas can rise straight into your home. Keep that in mind because we're coming back to it. Let's follow a single drop of water, from the street, through your entire house, and back out again. Our drop starts far from your house, at a city water treatment plant. From there it's pushed through huge underground pipes called water mains that run beneath your street under constant pressure. From that main, a smaller pipe branches off and runs straight to your home. This is your water service line. Now, not every home is on city water. Out in rural areas, many homes pull water from a private well, a pipe drilled deep into the ground, with an electric pump pushing water up into the house. Either way, the water arrives under pressure, ready to go. But before it's allowed to spread through your home, it has to pass 2 silent gatekeepers. And the second one might be the single most important thing in this entire video for you personally. Here's why. The first gatekeeper is the water meter. It measures every gallon you use. That's how the utility calculates your bill. Right after it sits the second gatekeeper, the main shutoff valve. One turn of this valve, and all water to your entire house stops instantly. This is the valve you sprint to when a pipe bursts and water is spraying across the room. So here's your first mission. Pause this video, walk over, and find yours right now. Most people only go looking for it while their floor is already underwater. Don't be that person. Found yours? Let me know in the comments. Some homes add one more device here, a pressure-reducing valve, or PRV. City water pressure can be too high for your pipes, and constant high pressure quietly stresses everything, causing leaks and early failures years before they should happen. The PRV tames that pressure down to a safe level. Alright, our drop is past the gatekeepers. Now it splits in 2. Once inside, the water travels through supply pipes. In newer homes these are usually flexible plastic tubing that snakes easily through the framing. In older homes you'll find copper, CPVC, or older galvanized steel. From here the water splits into 2 teams. The cold water line heads straight to everything that needs cold: toilets, sinks, showers, outdoor spigots, the washing machine. But part of that cold line takes a detour into the most overworked appliance in your house, the water heater. Inside a tank heater, cold water fills from the bottom, a burner or electric element heats it, and hot water is drawn from the top. As you use it, cold water automatically refills the tank, usually 30 to 80 gallons. Tankless heaters skip the tank entirely and heat water instantly as it rushes through. Either way, you now have 2 parallel networks running through your walls, a cold line and a hot line. Every fixture in your house is just a place where these 2 lines meet. Let's visit them. Start with the sink. Under every sink are 2 supply lines, hot and cold, each with its own little shutoff called an angle stop. That means you can fix one faucet without shutting off the whole house. Turn the handle hot and cold mix, and used water drops through the strainer into the drain. Now the toilet, and it's cleverer than it looks. A toilet uses only cold water, never hot. When you flush, a rubber flapper lifts and a wall of water crashes from the tank into the bowl. That rush creates a siphon, and the siphon, not the tank, is what actually pulls the waste out. The tank is just there to unleash the wave. Showers and tubs add a safety trick, a pressure balancing valve. Ever been scalded when someone flushed a toilet mid-shower? Tell me in the comments. I know I'm not the only one. That valve is what prevents it, holding your hot-cold mix steady even when pressure suddenly changes. Outside, hose bibs tap the cold line through the wall, and in cold climates, frost-free versions shut the water off deep inside the warm wall so the pipe can't freeze and burst. The washing machine gets both hot and cold at a laundry box. The dishwasher taps only hot, because hot water cleans better and kills bacteria. So that's the supply side, clean, pressurized water delivered everywhere. But now our drop has been used. And this is where plumbing gets genuinely surprising, because from here on, there is no pressure at all. Only gravity. And one small part standing between you and the sewer. Welcome to the second half of every plumbing system, the drain, waste, and vent system, DWV. Here's the single biggest difference from everything we've seen. Supply pipes are pressurized, drain pipes are not. Drains move water using nothing but gravity. That's why every drain pipe must be installed at a precise downward slope, about 1/4 inch of drop for every foot of pipe. Too flat and waste sits still, too steep and the water races away leaving solids behind. It has to be just right. So our drop leaves the sink and begins rolling downhill through the dark side of your plumbing. But before it gets far, it hits that one small part one promised you at the very beginning. The part that's quietly protecting your health right now. This U-shaped bend under your sink is called a Ptrap, and it's the unsung hero of your entire home. Look closely, it always holds a little pool of standing water. That water is a seal. Below it, connected to the city sewer, is a world of sewer gas, methane, hydrogen sulfide, the stuff that smells like rotten eggs and is genuinely toxic in enough concentration. The only thing stopping that gas from rising up through your drain and filling your home is that small cup of water in the bend. That's it. Every drain in your house has one. Sinks, showers, tubs, floor drains, all of them. So here's a real-world payoff. If a guest bathroom or a floor drain you never use starts to smell foul, the trap probably dried out and evaporated. The fix costs nothing. Pour a cup of water down the drain, the seal refills, the smell disappears. One small bend. One cup of water. Standing between you and the sewer, all day, every day. But the Ptrap has a weakness, and if we don't solve it, that protective seal can get ripped out in a single flush. Here's the Ptrap's weakness. When a big rush of water races down a drain, it can create suction behind it, a vacuum. And that vacuum can suck the water right out of your Ptrap seal, leaving the door wide open for sewer gas. Nature's fix is beautifully simple: air. Vent pipes run upward from your drains and let fresh air in to break that vacuum, so pressure equalizes and the trap seals stay intact. Those same vents also carry sewer gases up and release them safely above your roof. So remember those mystery pipes sticking up out of every rooftop? They're not chimneys. They're plumbing vents, releasing sewer gas high above your head. Be honest, did you always think those were chimneys? Let me know below. That's the vent in DWV. And it's why slow drains, gurgling sinks, or a faint sewage smell often mean a blocked vent, not a blocked drain. Now our drop is finally ready to leave the house. But it has two very different destinations. All the waste in your house collects into one large horizontal pipe at the base of the home, the main building drain, and heads underground to one of two destinations. Option 1. The city sewer. Your waste joins the municipal system and flows to a treatment plant. Option 2. A private septic system, a buried tank in your yard where solids settle and liquids slowly filter out into a drain field. Now, drains clog. That's just reality. So the system builds in escape hatches called cleanouts, capped access points that let a plumber send a snake or a camera straight into the line. The most important one sits near where the main drain exits the house. Knowing where yours is can save you a frantic, expensive call during a backup. Our drop is now officially out of the house. But we've skipped one huge question. How does all of this get built into a home in the first place, without mistakes hiding inside sealed walls? Plumbing is built in 2 stages, and the order matters enormously. Stage 1 is the rough-in. This happens before the walls, tile, and cabinets go in, while the house is still an open skeleton of studs. Plumbers run all the hidden bones: supply lines, drain lines, vent lines, shower valves, toilet flanges, washing machine boxes. Everything that will soon disappear behind drywall. And here's why the order is critical. Once the walls are closed, finding and fixing a plumbing mistake becomes painfully difficult and shockingly expensive. So before a single wall is sealed, it all has to pass inspection. Supply lines are pressure tested, drain and vent lines are filled with water or air and checked for the smallest leak. Only when it passes do the walls go up. Then, after drywall, tile, and cabinets, the plumber returns for the finish stage, installing toilets, faucets, the water heater, the garbage disposal, connecting the dishwasher, and tightening every drain. Finally, the whole system is tested. Faucets run, toilets flush, every joint checked for leaks. And when it all passes, you get something you'll now never take for granted again. So let's trace our drop one last time. It came from a city main or a well, past the meter and the shutoff valve you now know how to find, split into hot and cold, served every fixture, then rolled downhill on gravity alone, protected the whole way by a tiny cup of water in a Ptrap, kept safe by vents reaching above your roof, and finally left through the sewer or septic and its cleanouts. That's the three things almost nobody knows: the shutoff valve that saves your home, the Ptrap that guards your air, and the roof pipes that aren't chimneys. You now understand the hidden system running behind your walls every second of every day. If this made you look at your house a little differently, subscribe. Next time we're opening up the walls again to see how your home's electricity really works. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which of those three surprised you most? I'll see you there.